time to liberate our communities from this scourge of drug addiction. Never been this way. We can be the generation that ends the opioid epidemic.
That was President Trump just this last October. He declared the growing opioid epidemic a national public health emergency. It's a move that he promised would release federal funding to help pay for and offer up services to kick the addiction. But Ohio lawmakers tonight are saying, show us the money. News 5's James Girardi live for us right now. And James, those congressmen are sending a message. The money is desperately needed.
Yeah, Rob, that's exactly right. The president's declaration allowed for money to be pulled from the Public Health Emergency Fund. Well, it turns out that fund, it only has about $57,000 in it, and it hasn't been funded in years. So tonight, in a bipartisan effort, representatives from Ohio are trying to find the money to save lives.
We're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money on the opioid crisis.
But the money isn't there.
We were troubled by the fact that no dollar of any substantial amount accompanied the president's national declaration.
Thousands of organizations nationwide were, like the Cuyahoga County Adams Board, initially thrilled at the president's declaration, but since they haven't seen a dime. Adams Board CEO Valeria Harper.
Of course, we were waiting with bated breath to hear this multi-million-dollar allocation that would be earmarked only to address the heroin or opioid crisis, and we didn't hear that.
Ohio is ground zero for the opioid crisis. That's why Congressmen David Joyce and Tim Ryan crossed party lines and drafted this letter to Budget Director Mick Mulvaney asking for comprehensive funding to fight the crisis.
The president came out and claimed that this is a public health emergency. They gave us the opportunity to step up and say, great, let's fund it.
The letter was signed by 12 representatives from Ohio and 50 total. They now face an uphill battle, though. The group wants funding included in a budget bill that needs to be passed by the end of the year.
The end of the year, obviously is coming up quickly, and we've got a lot of things on our plate. I just want to make sure we're part of the discussion going forward.
Those working every day to stop the scourge, though, see this letter as one step in the right direction.
With the acknowledgement and the awareness and the strong advocacy and strong voices, we're very optimistic that some dollars must come down to support us.
So the letter doesn't call for a specific funding amount, but it does point out the opioid crisis is costing the U.S. economy around $272 billion a year. Reporting live in Cleveland tonight for News 5, I'm James Girardi.
And there's a